The story begins at a school known as the Beginner Monster Training Academy, where students prepare for an upcoming test called the Beastmaster exam, scheduled to take place in a few days. During class, the instructor informs them that a preliminary evaluation for this test will be held the next day. Since each of them has already formed their first contract with a monster, their current priority is to get enough rest and train diligently. After class, the students discuss their anxiety about the upcoming evaluation. One of them expresses deep concern, to which a classmate responds that their current abilities make achieving the rank of Beastmaster extremely difficult. Meanwhile, another student appears excited about the prospect of joining the Beastmaster Academy in Jiangning City. He acknowledges that it may not be the best academy, but it suits his current capabilities. His friend, on the other hand, voices his fear of failing the exam, as that would force him to live an ordinary life. At the end of the lesson, one student sits alone, Lin Zi, lost in thought, indifferent to the preliminary evaluation. In reality, he is a time traveler. He begins narrating his story, explaining that less than a week ago, he traveled through time and arrived at this point, inhabiting the body of the person he now is. Through the memories of the body's original owner, he learns about the nature of this world and how, hundreds of years ago, a catastrophe led to the emergence of countless monsters through dimensional rifts. At that time, these creatures began hunting and killing humans, causing immense devastation. However, as the resistance continued, people eventually discovered techniques to tame these beings. This leads to the rise of the Beastmaster profession, which becomes one of the most prestigious and highly ranked occupations. Anyone who enters this field is guaranteed a place among society's elite, making it a dream pursued by all young individuals aspiring to become spirit masters. In this world, individuals who reach the age of 18 or older are permitted to form their first contract with a monster. The stronger one's spirit, the greater their ability to bond with powerful creatures. However, he insists that none of this concerns him, as the body he now inhabits had already formed its first contract before his arrival in this world, with a small creature resembling a snowball. The problem is that this monster poses no threat to humans or other creatures. It constantly behaves kindly, and even worse, it lacks the ability to evolve. At this point, he wonders whether he should accept reality and live an ordinary life like everyone else. Yet, frustration quickly sets in as he laments his misfortune. After all, every other time traveler he has heard of gains extraordinary abilities or enough power to shake the world. While his fate is tied to this harmless little creature, his sense of misery deepens when a classmate mocks him, remarking that he shouldn't worry about the evaluation. After all, becoming a Beastmaster isn't necessary. He could simply work an ordinary job, which would be a much safer choice, as it doesn't require taking risks or participating in dangerous missions. Another student joins the conversation, suggesting that he could make use of his snowball monster by placing it at the entrance of a shopping center and selling ice cream. The first student laughs, adding, or maybe even bottled water. Feeling a surge of anger at their ridicule, Lin suddenly notices a notification appearing before him, informing him that the system has been charged and is now activating. Realizing the significance of this moment, he decides to ignore his classmates' taunts and focus on this opportunity, which might finally allow him to achieve his ambition. He begins to ponder why the system hasn't functioned since his arrival in this world, wondering if it had simply lacked the necessary energy to activate. Overcome with excitement, he is thrilled to see the system coming to life at last. He even finds himself longing to hear that angelic voice announcing its activation. He then sits before the screen displaying his abilities and available upgrades, discovering that any achievement he makes will earn him points that can be used to enhance his monster. He searches for ways to help Snowball grow and learns that its development depends on either engaging in battles or consuming energy-rich items. Once its growth reaches 100%, the evolution feature will activate, leading to a significant increase in the creature's power. Lin is utterly astonished, as he had always believed that the snowball monster could never evolve. However, he later comes across new information revealing that his monster has two possible evolution paths. The first is the giant path, which enhances its close combat strength but weakens its ice control abilities, ultimately transforming it into a giant snow beast. The second option is the queen path, which significantly enhances its ice control and magical power, though at the cost of its melee combat abilities. This path leads to its evolution into an ice crystal spirit, which can continue advancing until it reaches the queen rank. He realizes that while his snowball monster cannot evolve directly, it does possess hidden ways to achieve transformation. He then looks at his monster, wondering if it can truly evolve, allowing him to avoid selling ice cream on the streets, and perhaps even become a true Beastmaster. Additionally, he considers the possibility that the Queen path might eventually lead to the King rank, which excites him greatly. Determined to explore this path further, he checks its requirements and plans to use the achievement points he has accumulated to develop his monster. He discovers that passing the evaluation will earn him 200 points and a spirit crystal, while passing the Beastmaster training qualification will grant him 300 points, along with a spirit crystal and a power crystal. At present, he has 100 points and a spirit crystal. Thanks to successfully forming his first contract with his monster, he decides to invest these points into developing his companion. He withdraws them and initiates the upgrade process for his snowball monster. As a result, the creature advances from the first stage to the second, fulfilling the 100% growth requirement. He is overjoyed to see that the enhancement is successful and is even more pleased to find that he only uses 70 points, meaning he still has 30 achievement points left. However, his excitement quickly fades when he notices that the growth effect is disappearing. After swelling up like a real snowball, his monster reverts to its original small size. He then asks his monster if it feels frustrated being nothing more than a pet, without any combat abilities. Realizing that he still needs Ice Element Essence and Spiritual Jade to further develop his monster, he acknowledges that upgrading it is his best chance of achieving his goal. He then discovers that he requires 20 Ice Element Essences and 1 Spirit Ruby, and he remarks in surprise at how such a tiny snowball monster demands so many resources to evolve, especially considering their high cost. As he leaves the classroom, he contemplates that he must first gather enough money before heading to the pet store to purchase these materials. However, before he can exit, he encounters his bully, who sneers at him, asking if he plans to return home with his snowball monster to sell ice cream. Yet, he pays no attention to such ridiculous remarks and advises his monster to ignore them as well, reminding it that the upcoming evaluation will be entirely up to it. In response, the snowball monster lets out a soft sound. Hearing the word ridiculous, his bully grows irritated and asks if he is referring to him. At that moment, Lin considers the fact that the Jiang family is the second most influential family in Jiangning City, and he knows that he cannot afford to provoke them just yet. Nonetheless, he is certain that his time will come, and when it does, he will prove his worth. He then tells his classmate that if he wants to find out who the real fool is, he will know when the final selection results for the Beastmaster exam are announced. His bullies burst into laughter, with Jiang mocking him, questioning if he seriously intends to take the exam with a monster that cannot even evolve. Another student chimes in, saying that if he were in his place, he wouldn't bother showing up for the evaluation the next day, as his chances of success are non-existent. Instead, he suggests that Lin should start selling popsicles instead. At that moment, their female classmate, Ning, steps in, scolding Jiang and telling him not to go too far. Jiang, however, smirks and sarcastically remarks that she is now defending him. He then laughs, saying he won't push things further because he is terrified of Lin, the insignificant. Meanwhile, another classmate comments that he cannot understand what she sees in someone like him and suggests that she would be better off with Jiang. However, Lin tells her not to pay attention to their words and to avoid arguing with them, assuring her that they will come to understand the truth in due time. He then informs her that he needs to visit the pet store first, so she should head home on her own today. The scene shifts as he returns home after purchasing supplies from the pet store. As he walks along the road, he reflects on how he has spent all his savings, which he had accumulated over several months, to buy these items. Just then, he hears Ning calling out to him. She approaches and informs him that her mother has sent her to ask if he will be joining them for dinner tonight. He replies that he will, but only after a short while. She then tells him that she will be participating in the evaluation test the next day and asks if he will be going with her. He assures her that he will attend since he is also taking the test, which makes her happy. She urges him to teach Jiang and his gang a lesson they won't forget. He reassures her that he will, telling her not to worry about it. She then says she will be heading home and advises him to take care of himself. Later, he arrives home and begins inspecting the items he purchased, considering how the real issue lies in the high cost of Ice Element Essence and Spiritual Jade. He then looks at his snowball monster and remarks that upgrading it again will require an enormous amount of money. He places the materials on the ground in front of his monster, allowing it to consume them. Watching as it eats greedily, he tells it to slow down, reassuring it that there is no competition for the food. Once the snowball monster finishes eating, he notices a change in its appearance, but is uncertain if this means it is beginning to evolve. Suddenly, the monster starts emitting a bright light. Gradually, changes begin to manifest. Fingers start to appear. Over time, it continues transforming, developing a full body with arms and legs. It becomes clear that it has now evolved into what is known as a crystal spirit. With its current power level at 0, yet it has the potential to further evolve into a snow maiden. Lin is overwhelmed with joy upon realizing that his once adorable snowball monster has successfully evolved into an ice crystal spirit. He learns that the monster has now reached the second stage and the second rank, and he celebrates the fact that its level has increased by an entire grade. As he assesses the situation, he considers that high school students' pet monsters typically range between the third and fifth stages of the first rank, while his own monster has jumped directly to the second rank. He touches it and finds it to be extremely cold. As he moves closer, he feels an intense chill, making him realize that its power has increased beyond his expectations. Moreover, as a result of the successful evolution, he earns 100 achievement points and a strength crystal. At that moment, he recalls that if not for the system's guidance on the necessary elements for developing the tiny snowball monster, no one would have ever suspected that such a weak pet could evolve. He then proceeds to claim his rewards. As expected, he obtains both the spirit crystal and the strength crystal. Thinking to himself that this is the best gamble he has made so far, he realizes that spirit crystals enhance spiritual strength, which determines the number and level of monsters one can contract with, whereas strength crystals directly boost physical fitness, both of which are crucial for him. He then consumes the strength crystal and the spirit crystal, immediately feeling a sharp gleam in his eyes. Clear changes begin to manifest in his body, and he discovers that both his physical and spiritual strength have nearly doubled. Additionally, his achievement points increase to 123. He soon realizes that he no longer feels cold at all. Instead, he experiences a surge of energy coursing through him. In a moment of excitement, he strikes the wall with his fist, shattering it. He comments that while people usually do not engage in battles themselves, physical strength is always important, as it can be crucial for survival in dangerous situations. At that moment, the ice crystal spirit clings to his leg and communicates with him, prompting him to consider using his remaining points to upgrade it further. Without hesitation, he invests all his remaining achievement points into advancing its level. As a result, he successfully raises his monster to the fourth stage. He smiles confidently, realizing that the upcoming evaluation test will bring an unexpected surprise for everyone. The shifts to the day of the evaluation test, where he and his cousin are walking together on their way to school. Ning asks him if he is prepared for the test, to which he confidently replies that he is fully ready, emphasizing that he is determined to succeed in the final Beastmaster evaluation. She is overjoyed by his decision, expressing her surprise at his growing enthusiasm, noting that he initially had no intention of participating at all. He smiles and responds that people always change. At that moment, two girls on the street notice them. One asks her friend if that is Ning, the talented third-year student at Pinghai Middle School, and wonders why she is always with that failure of a boy. Her friend replies that no one really knows the reason, adding that she heard Zhou Hong had confessed his love to her, only to be rejected. She then remarks that she does not understand why so many people admire her. The other girl tries to hush her, but Lin has already overheard the entire conversation and reflects on how she is actually his cousin. She is a prodigy with many admirers, and there are also plenty of girls who are jealous of her. Yet, despite all this, she never pays attention to anyone else but him. Ning then asks him if he really plans to take the evaluation using his little snowball monster. He smiles at her confidently and assures her that he will, asking her not to underestimate its abilities. Amused, she playfully grabs him by the neck and jokes that if they both succeed today, they should celebrate together, as there is a shop she has been wanting to visit for a while. But suddenly, they hear a voice ordering her to stop, and a girl appears, pointing at her while telling her brother that she is the one who stole her boyfriend. Ning looks at her in confusion, asking who she is and who this supposed boyfriend is. The girl furiously shouts that her boyfriend is Zhou Hong, making her realize whom she is referring to, dismissing him as an annoying person. She recalls the moment he confessed his love to her while holding a red rose and explains to the girl that she never paid him any attention and had rejected him the moment he expressed his feelings. However, the girl screams in anger, accusing her of lying and insisting that she deliberately seduced him. At that point, Ning takes his hand and urges him to leave, stating that she has no intention of wasting her time explaining anything to these people, as they have far more important things to do. However, the boy accompanying the girl blocks their path, remarking that it is clear she is not taking this matter seriously, and he will not allow her to leave so easily. He then adds in a threatening tone that since she has caused trouble with his cousin, she must now face the consequences. She glares at him sharply and commands him to step aside. Her dismissive attitude enrages the boy, and he raises his hand, attempting to strike her while warning that he will show her his strength. But before he can do so, Lin swiftly intervenes, grabbing his arm to stop him, surprising her with his quick reaction. The furious girl then shouts at him, demanding that he hit both of them, claiming that everyone knows he is completely useless. The boy sneers at him, mocking him by asking if he is trying to act like a heroic savior protecting the beautiful girl, warning him that he should worry about himself first. Before he can finish his sentence, Lin lands a powerful punch, sending him crashing to the ground. This shocks the girl who has brought him to intimidate Ning, and she rushes to check on him. Meanwhile, Lin also approaches him and tells him that Ning is like a sister to him, and if he has a problem, he should face him directly instead of harassing her. The boy's anger intensifies to the point where he looks like he is about to explode. At the same time, Ning gazes at Lin in amazement, unable to believe he possesses such combat strength. He himself is equally stunned by his physical abilities, realizing that he never expected his strength to increase so dramatically after consuming the power crystal. However, the injured boy refuses to back down, shouting at him and threatening him, declaring that he has brought this fate upon himself and will pay dearly for it. Then, without warning, he summons his monster, revealing a phantom wolf. The data indicates that it is a first-stage, second-rank creature. With arrogance, he addresses them, pointing out that they are merely high school students and questioning whether they still believe they can compete with him or challenge his phantom wolf, which belongs to the second rank. At that moment, Ning considers that her beast has indeed reached the first rank, 7th stage. Yet, despite her strong confidence in it, its chances of defeating the phantom wolf remain extremely slim. However, there is no other choice. Just before she can summon her phantom, Lin intervenes, stepping forward to face the beast himself. She quickly questions him about what he is doing. Then, she asks if he intends to use the little snowball in this battle. He responds, explaining that if her beast sustains any injuries, it will affect her chances of succeeding in the school evaluation, so it is better for him to handle it instead. At that, the arrogant girl scoffs at him, claiming he must have lost his mind. She questions how he, the weakest student in the school, could possibly think he can stand against her cousin. Then, she instructs her cousin to teach them a harsh lesson they will not forget. Without hesitation, her cousin steps forward and commands the phantom wolf to attack him. It is then that Lin, for the first time, unleashes his beast after the recent enhancements. As the phantom wolf charges toward him, Lin's beast has already begun activating its icy power. The ice spirit crystal emerges, releasing an intense, freezing energy capable of turning anything into solid ice. In an instant, the phantom wolf becomes a frozen statue, locked in the very attack stance it had prepared against him. At that moment, both the phantom wolf's owner and his arrogant cousin stand in shock, utterly speechless. Even Ning finds it hard to believe what she has just witnessed, and asks Lin if this is the same little snowball. He replies that it has evolved. Meanwhile, the phantom wolf's owner, still unable to comprehend what has happened, calls out to his beast, urging it to move. Lin then introduces his beast to her, explaining that it has now become the ice crystal spirit. In that instant, the spirit activates another ability through its eyes. It shatters the frozen phantom wolf into tiny pieces, enraging its owner. He protests, arguing that they are merely high school students and that their beast should not surpass the 9th stage of the first rank. He then demands to know how he has managed to achieve such power. Turning away, he prepares to leave, prompting his cousin to ask where he is going. He replies that Lin possesses a beast of a higher rank, which means they have miscalculated, and it is best for them to leave. Just as they are about to walk away, Lin calls out to him, asking if he has given them permission to leave. The two freeze in place, not daring to take another step. After a tense moment, the boy turns toward him, bowing in apology, admitting his mistake. However, Lin informs him that he is not the one who deserves an apology. Without hesitation, the boy immediately apologizes to Ning, admitting his wrongdoing and promising to teach Zhou a lesson. Realizing that his cousin remains standing in stunned silence, he orders her to apologize as well. But Ning interjects, saying it is not necessary, and urges them to leave quickly. Once Lin allows them to go, the boy grabs his cousin and swiftly leaves the. She then turns to him, astonished by what has transpired. She tells him he is incredible and asks how he has managed such a feat, especially since the beast he has defeated belongs to the second rank. She also inquires about the true nature of the ice crystal spirit and whether it can evolve further. He responds that it is possible, but chooses to postpone the discussion for another time, as it is not the right moment. They need to head to the evaluation site. The then shifts to a luxurious building, revealed to be the headquarters of the Imperial Beast Association. Inside, a massive stone is prominently displayed, bearing an inscription that identifies it as the original stone. They arrive at the location, where a crowd stands before the stone, some marveling at its size, while others doubt its authenticity, questioning whether it is truly the original stone. Meanwhile, he is lost in thought, aware that this is the final evaluation test of the year. Some students will succeed and earn their place at the Imperial School of Beastmasters, while others will have no second chance. He knows he has to be among the successful ones today. At that moment, an official man arrives, welcoming them and reminding them that they have received medals upon entry. He then explains that each medal bears one of the following words: low, medium, high, or extreme, and that these indicate the key to entering the realm of the original stone. He further clarifies that each student will choose the difficulty level of their challenge, emphasizing that the greater the challenge, the greater the rewards. Then, he instructs them to look at the screen. A display appears on the original stone, showcasing the available challenges along with their corresponding rewards. Some students excitedly express their aspirations to attempt the extreme challenge, while others admit that it might be beyond their capabilities. After that, Ning asks Lin which challenge he will choose, but he is still thinking and has yet to respond. At that moment, the official man addresses the students, stating that he wants to offer them some advice before they make their choices. He explains that this decision will impact their future development and that they should select their level based on their actual strength. After some consideration, she chooses the high-level challenge. Then, the display screen reveals the students' selections. It shows that most have chosen the low level, 10 students have opted for the medium level, while only one student has selected the high level, and another has chosen the extreme level. The students immediately begin speculating about who has picked the extreme challenge, assuming that it must have been a mistake, or that the person is unaware of the difficulty they are about to face. Lin overhears them commenting that whoever has chosen the extreme level will undoubtedly fail and lose their chance to enter the Imperial Academy of Beastmasters this year. Shortly after, Ning discovers that he is the one who has selected the extreme level. She warns him that if he fails the test, he will be unable to enter the academy. However, he reassures her that he knows exactly what he is doing, while the other students continue to call him crazy for making such a choice, assuming it must have been an accident. At that point, the official man intervenes and calls out to him, reminding him that he has advised them to choose carefully. Lin confidently replies that he is absolutely certain of his decision. The official man grows irritated and asks him what he means by that, whether he truly believes he can pass the extreme level. Without hesitation, he responds with complete confidence, affirming that he is sure he will succeed. The official man scoffs, remarking that young people always think they know everything, but adds that he is free to make his own choices. If he wants to play with fire, no one will stop him. After that, he stands beside the original stone and announces that since all the students have chosen their respective challenges, the qualification tests will now begin. The students sit on the ground, preparing to be transported into the virtual world within the original stone. Then, the stone emits a powerful light that engulfs the entire area. Moments later, the students find themselves inside the original stone, while the official man stands before them, contemplating Lin's decision to take on the extreme level, considering it quite intriguing. Lin then suddenly finds himself in a different place, realizing that he has entered the virtual world inside the original stone. At that moment, he recalls the man's words before they were transported that any injuries they sustain in the virtual world will not affect them in reality, even if their companion beast were to die. Feeling reassured that there is nothing to worry about, he knows he can act freely without fear. Just then, a status screen appears before him, indicating that he has yet to claim his achievement points for defeating the Phantom Wolf. Delighted to see the system screen functioning within the virtual world, he decides to claim the 100 points and the soul crystal he has obtained. He then requests to use them to enhance himself and raise his beast's level as well. As a result, his spiritual power increases, and his beast advances to the second rank, 6th stage. Realizing that his chances of succeeding in the challenge have significantly improved with this development, he feels more confident. However, he is suddenly startled when a door in his surroundings opens on its own. From within, a massive lizard emerges, and he immediately recognizes it as a fire-type beast of the first rank, 7th stage. At that moment, he wonders why everyone has claimed the extreme level is impossibly difficult when he is now facing a beast of the first rank. Just then, the lizard unleashes a massive burst of flames from its mouth, aiming directly at him and his beast. In response, he commands the Ice Crystal Spirit to launch an icicle at the lizard. The Ice Crystal Spirit follows his command, causing the entire area to be covered in ice. His plan succeeds when the lizard freezes completely, just like the phantom wolf before it. He then comments that the icicles have become stronger than before and realizes that he has successfully passed the first of 5 levels. The challenge continues, and another door opens, revealing a new beast, a mummy beast, classified as first rank, 9th stage. He considers that this stage might pose a significant challenge for the other students. Meanwhile, the official man monitors all the students' challenges through the screen displayed on the original stone. Lin, however, stands confidently with his hands in his pockets, looking at the defeated mummy beast, thinking that it has not been a challenge for him at all. Seeing this, the official man comments that he has been lucky so far, as the beasts he has encountered are ones his companion can handle. However, what comes next will be the real test. A new door opens, and a massive beast emerges, a plague beast, classified as second rank, 2nd stage. The official man continues his observations, pointing out that his companion beast is at the second rank, 1st stage, while the plague beast is at the second rank, 2nd stage. This means that no matter how talented he is, he will not be able to overcome this stage. Lin attempts to use icicle against the plague beast, but they have no effect. He then remarks that the deadwood of this beast is incredibly dense and thick, making it capable of easily deflecting icicles. The plague beast then launches an attack on him and the Ice Crystal Spirit, hurling deadly wooden fragments at them. It successfully entangles the Ice Crystal Spirit with its sturdy branches, using its entanglement skill, and frustration is evident on the spirit's face. The plague beast then lunges forward, ensuring that its opponent is completely restrained and incapable of using its abilities. At that moment, the man laughs, remarking that while he possesses decent strength compared to the other students, this is the limit of what he can achieve. However, within moments, the man's expression shifts to one of astonishment. Returning to his side, the plague beast is suddenly unable to move, frozen in place due to the ice spread across the ground beneath it. It is then revealed that he has instructed the Ice Crystal Spirit to use the Frost Domain ability. The spirit shatters the branches that have bound it. Lin then comments that everyone assumes he and his beast rely on only one ability. Following that, he orders the Ice Crystal Spirit to unleash icicles once again. The ground beneath the plague beast is completely frozen, and it is bombarded by relentless icicle attacks from all directions. The assault continues until the plague beast collapses in defeat. He pats his beast, affirming that they have successfully eliminated the threat. With that, the 3rd level is officially cleared, leaving only 2 levels remaining. Meanwhile, students are exiting their respective challenges one after another. Some leave with joy, celebrating their success and passing the simpler levels. However, many others emerge disappointed after failing in the final stages, particularly when they face beasts beyond their capabilities. At that moment, the students begin to notice the heightened interest of the officials monitoring the screen, prompting them to pay closer attention as well. They soon see a second-ranked beast known as the Claw Beast and question why such a creature is appearing in the evaluation tests. They then realize that it is facing the student who has entered the extreme challenge, and that this student has already defeated the Claw Beast, successfully clearing the 4th level. Now, only the 5th and final level remains for Lin and the Ice Crystal Spirit. One of the students, astonished, asks how strong this student could possibly be, especially since he is familiar with all the top talents at school, and he has never been one of them. At the same time, Ning exits the virtual world, overjoyed at her success in the challenge, as it means she will now be able to train as a beast master. She then wonders about his cousin's current situation. However, she notices a crowd of students gathered around the screen, commenting on the individual they are watching and describing him as incredibly powerful. Her curiosity piques, She steps forward to see for herself and is stunned to discover that he has cleared the 4th level of the extreme challenge. Overcome with excitement, she is deeply impressed by his achievement. At that moment, the student's anticipation grows even stronger as the 5th beast emerges from the door, signaling the start of the final stage of the challenge. Everyone standing in front of the screen is taken aback when they see that the beast is a saber-toothed lion, a 2nd rank, 6th stage beast. The students scream in panic, exclaiming that this is completely unacceptable, that the lion is an incredibly dangerous beast, and that it is impossible for any student, no matter how strong, to defeat it. However, when the shifts back to him, he stands firm, remarking that he has finally found a beast worthy of fighting. Meanwhile, the ice crystal spirit is fully prepared to launch icicles directly at the lion. Yet, the lion moves with incredible speed, evading every icicle effortlessly. Seeing this, he immediately realizes that this beast possesses exceptional speed. At that moment, the lion lunges toward the ice crystal spirit, executing its saber claw attack. Thanks to its terrifying speed, it manages to land a blow, tearing a portion of the spirit's body. Meanwhile, the man observes intently, contemplating whether he has any more tricks up his sleeve. Although he is deeply impressed by his skills and strength, he believes this will be the end for him. The lion closes in on him and the ice crystal spirit. Lin knows that his beast is 1 stage higher than the lion, but he also understands that the strength of a companion beast is not determined by stage alone. Factors such as individual traits, conditions, and the Beastmaster's strategy all play a role in the outcome. Additionally, the ice crystal spirit has been significantly weakened after enduring 4 intense battles. He acknowledges that the saber-toothed lion is incredibly powerful, with speed and strength surpassing that of the ice crystal spirit. This is going to be a difficult battle, and if he continues fighting the same way, he will most likely lose. He needs to find the right opportunity. Just then, the lion launches a full power attack. He orders the ice crystal spirit to be ready, declaring that this is the perfect moment. The instant the lion is about to land its strike, he commands the ice crystal spirit to release icicles. His plan succeeds. The ice crystal spirit and Lin manage to defeat the saber-toothed lion. All the students and officials are left in shock, unable to believe what they have just witnessed. Suddenly, one of the students notices something strange and urges the others to take a closer look at the lion. The man stands watching the unfold, contemplating how he has managed to saber a 2nd rank, 5th stage beast. This means that his companion beast has to be at least of the same rank and stage. He admits that he is incredibly talented and intelligent, having successfully concealed such a powerful trick while making precise decisions based on all surrounding variables. Just then, the lion lets out a powerful roar, preparing to launch another attack on him and the ice crystal spirit. At the same time, the ice crystal spirit stands its ground, fully prepared and brimming with determination. It then begins its counterattack, flapping its small wings and spreading frost across the battlefield. The strategy works. The ground beneath the saber-toothed lion freezes completely, causing its claws to become trapped in ice. Lin then thinks about how this lion is a spirit beast from the southern region, where the weather is extremely cold. This means that it has high resistance to ice, making him hesitate about his next move. At that moment, he receives a notification indicating that he has achieved a new milestone and earned 100 achievement points for using his companion beast 10 times. Another notification follows, informing him that these points have unlocked a new feature allowing him to acquire additional skills for his spirit beast, something he doesn't fully understand at first. A new menu then appears on the screen, presenting him with 3 skill options: Frost Chains, Ice Shield, or Frost Star. He is astonished by the possibility of adding more abilities to his companion beast. As he considers his options, he realizes that typically, a beast has only 2 primary abilities. However, by acquiring additional skills, he will be able to employ a wider range of strategies in battle. He then begins comparing the available skills in the list. He notices that Icicles relies heavily on precision and control, whereas Frost has a broader area of effect. However, that doesn't necessarily make it the best choice. He considers that what he needs most at that moment is an ability that provides strong control while delivering precise damage to a specific target. For that reason, he chooses to add the Frost Chain skill, which costs 50 points. While he is still contemplating how to use his remaining achievement points, the saber-toothed lion manages to break free and charge toward them. Realizing the urgency of the situation, He immediately decides to use the remaining points to level up the Ice Crystal Spirit. At that moment, the Ice Crystal Spirit begins emitting a powerful glow, leaving the students bewildered as they struggle to understand what is happening. When they finally realize that the glow signifies its level increasing, one student expresses disbelief, pointing out that he hasn't used any items to enhance his beast's rank. Another remarks that evolution is supposed to occur after a victory, not during battle. While the students debate among themselves, he remains focused on the fight, confidently motioning toward the lion as if inviting it to approach. As soon as the beast gets close enough, he commands the Ice Crystal Spirit to activate Frost Chains. The ability successfully restrains the lion, preventing it from moving. With his plan working as expected, he declares that it is time to unleash the icicles. The Ice Crystal Spirit executes his command, sending a barrage of shards that pierce the lion's body, causing it to roar in pain. Meanwhile, the students are left wondering about these unfamiliar skills, while the man nearly loses his composure, exclaiming aloud and questioning how his companion beast is capable of using 3 different abilities. Returning to the battlefield, the lion remains standing despite the icicles embedded throughout its body. He comments that its hide is exceptionally thick. He then instructs the Ice Crystal Spirit to prepare for another round of attacks. The spirit obeys, launching another relentless assault of icicles at the beast. Finally, the lion collapses, and he is officially declared the winner of the extreme level training test. Ning is overwhelmed with joy for him, exclaiming that he is truly the best. However, some students refuse to accept his victory, insisting that what he has done is impossible. Some even speculate that he might have bribed someone to pass. As for the official man, he admits his astonishment, stating that he has never expected such a performance from someone he has previously dismissed as insignificant. He goes on to say that he has encountered many talented and remarkable young people in the past, but none have been like him, an unknown student who has suddenly shone with such brilliance. As the attention returns to Lin, he notices that both his and the Ice Crystal Spirit's ranks have increased significantly. He realizes that the extreme difficulty test has had an incredible impact on their strength. Shortly after, a notification appears, informing him that he is now eligible to contract a second companion beast alongside his current one. This leaves him uncertain about which beast would be the best choice. However, he decides it would be best to wait until he visits the pet beast store to select the most suitable one for his future needs. Another notification then pops up, congratulating him on officially becoming a trainee beastmaster. He has also earned 200 achievement points for passing the test, along with a soul stone. He then exits the virtual world of the test, only to find himself surrounded by a large crowd. They quickly gather around him, bombarding him with questions about how he has achieved such a feat and where he has obtained the ice beast he used, all while praising his exceptional performance. Suddenly, Ning leaps onto his back excitedly, congratulating him and exclaiming that she has always believed he would pass the test. He has been truly incredible. At that moment, the man approaches him, admitting that his performance has been nothing short of spectacular. He retracts his previous statements, acknowledging that his decision to take on the extreme difficulty test has not been reckless or impulsive, but rather a choice made with complete confidence. This unexpected turn of events sparks a debate among the students, with some pointing out that the official has never apologized to a student before. However, he simply responds that he has never taken those words as an insult in the first place. The man then asks if his name is Lin before extending an offer of an invitation to join the Beast Trainer Association. He explains that they can recruit him as a reserve trainer, offering him a generous salary while assuring him that the position will not interfere with his enrollment in the Beast Training Academy. Additionally, he informs him that upon graduation, he will be immediately appointed as an official trainer within the association if he agrees to the offer. Hearing this, Ning leans in and whispers in his ear, urging him to accept immediately. She emphasizes that even academy graduates rarely receive an opportunity to work with the association. She continues speaking, explaining to him that competition among graduates is extremely fierce, comparable to thousands of people trying to cross a narrow bridge, with only a handful managing to make it to the other side. Lin thinks to himself that this is incredible because it means he won't have to worry about the cost of living or tuition fees at the academy anymore, and everyone will respect him. However, he continues his train of thought, realizing that nothing comes for free. If the offer is this exceptional, then surely the price he will have to pay in the future will be high. Moreover, the association has extremely strict rules, and he doesn't want anything to restrict him at this stage. For that reason, he thanks the man and tells him that he has carefully considered the offer but has decided to decline, preferring to make his decision after graduation. At that moment, all the students are left in complete shock, unable to believe what they have just heard. Each of them wishes they were in his place, and one of them even dares to approach the official, suggesting that he take him instead if Lin isn't interested. However, the official completely ignores him and doesn't respond. Meanwhile, the man continues observing him, convinced that he is an extraordinary young man. Given his current rate of progress, he will become hundreds of times stronger in the future, at which point he could demand far greater benefits. He then tells him that he respects his decision and won't insist on it, but he also makes it clear that if he ever needs anything or changes his mind in the future, he can reach out to him at any time. Before leaving, he introduces himself as Junwen, then exits the hall along with the rest of the attendees. After that, all the students begin leaving the test site, but suddenly, Ning hears someone calling her name. When she turns to see who it is, she tells him that they are two girls from the neighboring class, Liu Xian and Zhang Xiaoyan. However, she is surprised when the two girls ask her to introduce them to him, as they want to become his friends. One of them then steps forward, requesting that he add her as a friend. She mentions that they have admired him for some time, and then congratulates him on passing today's test. At that moment, Ning feels extremely annoyed by them, while he quickly responds, explaining that he and Ning have many important things to take care of, and that he can talk to them later. He then takes her with him and hurries away, but one of the girls calls after him, insisting that he add her as a friend before leaving. Shortly after, he receives a message on his phone. When he opens it, he sees that it is from his teacher, requesting that he come to her office immediately. He immediately returns to school and heads to her office, wondering what she wants from him. She greets him, confirming that she has heard about his success in the extreme difficulty training test. Then, she suddenly rushes toward him and hugs him tightly, congratulating him and insisting that she has always believed in his potential. At that moment, he recalls a memory of the same teacher chasing him with a whip, cursing and scolding him for his terrible grades. Afterward, she explains that she has called him this time because she wants to give him something important. She then hands him a uniquely designed book. He takes the book and reads the title, The Code of Spirit Arts Techniques. His teacher then tells him that the book contains essential rules and techniques for training in spirit arts, and that reading it will be incredibly beneficial before he begins his journey as a beast master. She further explains that mastering spirit arts, alongside controlling companion beasts, is one of the most effective combat methods for beast masters. She adds that a beast trainer who excels in spirit arts will be capable of defeating even ferocious beasts, as they can use these techniques for both offense and defense. He is overjoyed to receive the book and thanks his teacher, assuring her that he will start learning from it immediately. She then tells him that if he encounters any difficulties while studying, he can come to her for help at any time. The scene then shifts to him sitting at home, immediately diving into his new book, just as he has promised his teacher. When he opens the first page, he finds the title Spirit Guardian. The text explains that this skill creates a spiritual energy shield, capable of blocking any damage from all directions at a full 360-degree angle by consuming spiritual energy. He reflects on the saying, "The early bird catches the worm," and decides to start by learning the Academy's fundamentals first, setting aside time later for these additional matters. However, just 10 minutes after making this decision, he is already practicing the techniques written in the book. Soon, he feels something different. He senses a protective shield surrounding him. He assumes that he must have mastered the skill already, as he wouldn't have felt such a change otherwise. Looking at his hands in disbelief, he realizes that while ordinary people take days or even months to master spirit arts, he has managed to do it in just 10 minutes. This confirms that his spiritual body at this level is incredibly advantageous. Shortly after, he receives notifications confirming that he has officially mastered the spirit art and has earned 100 additional points, bringing his total to 350 achievement points. The system then asks if he wants to spend 50 points to upgrade Spirit Guardian. He thinks it is an incredible feature and notices that the system supports spirit arts techniques as well. At that moment, he realizes that he has unintentionally accumulated a significant number of achievement points. He decides that it would be best to invest them in enhancing his skills, allowing him to save more lives in the future. He spends 100 points, leaving him with 250 remaining. After that, he sits down again and resumes practicing spirit arts training. This time, he feels that the protective shield has grown stronger and thicker after its level up. He also notices that its size has significantly increased, making it large enough to protect 3 or 4 people within it. He then observes that his spiritual power has decreased by only 10 points. This leads him to conclude that each use of Spirit Guardian consumes 10 points, meaning he can use it 78 times before his energy is depleted. Next, he remembers the Soul Stone he has obtained after the Beast Trainer test, but has yet to use. He decides to activate it now. The moment he does, his soul rank increases by 1 level, and his spiritual power rises from 780 to 880 points. Upon realizing the extent of his spiritual power, he thinks that relying on Spirit Guardian alone would be a waste of such strength. Thus, he decides to learn 2 additional techniques from the book. With that, he returns to his studies and begins learning 2 new spirit arts, Spirit Arrow and Spiritual Force Shock. He trains for hours until the end of the day. Then, he suddenly gets up and moves at an incredible speed, only to crash straight into the wall ahead of him. The collision consumes another 10 points of spiritual power, but he notices that the force he has used isn't that strong, yet the impact is incredibly precise, just like an arrow. He then decides to test his full strength. Gathering his energy, he prepares for a more powerful strike. With 1 punch, he shatters the entire wall, consuming 30 points of his spiritual power, leaving him astonished at the sheer power of this technique. Because he has successfully mastered 3 spirit arts, he receives a notification stating that he has been awarded a Spirit Recovery Potion, a one-time use elixir capable of reviving a fallen spirit beast. He decides to save it for emergencies. He then notices that his Spirit Arrow and Spiritual Force Shock skills have leveled up to rank 2, and he still has 150 achievement points left. Feeling satisfied with his progress, he decides to keep the remaining points for later use, as he will need money the next day to purchase his second beast. The next day, he heads toward the Mission Center, a place where tasks are assigned in exchange for money. This is his first time accepting a mission for money, and he thinks that his current level makes him more than capable of completing any mission he chooses with ease. He begins reading through the available mission list, and decides to select the one with the highest reward upon completion. However, he feels disappointed when the system informs him that due to his current rank as a trainee, 3 other people have been assigned to accompany him on the mission to ensure his safety. Realizing this means that the reward will be split evenly among the 4 of them, he feels slightly frustrated. Then, a map appears, showing his destination, Deadhole Canyon. He is required to arrive there by 2 p.m. that day. The shifts to Deadhole Canyon, where 3 individuals stand waiting. The moment he arrives, one of them steps forward and remarks that he has finally made it. Lin greets the group, but the man informs him that he has been waiting for him all this time. He then asks if he is still a student at the academy and has not yet graduated. It is revealed that his name is Zhang Lei, and he is a Beastmaster, though his rank is low. The second person then introduces himself to him as Zhang Mingshan, also a low-ranked Beastmaster. At that moment, the third member of the team intervenes, telling the 2 of them not to scare him. Her name is Wang Shuiyun, and she is also a low-ranked Beastmaster. She stands beside him and reassures him to stay behind her and not worry. Lin then admits that he hasn't graduated yet, jokingly adding that he might become a burden to them, but only later on. She laughs at his words, but Mingshan is not amused. He reminds the group that they aren't here to joke around and need to take the mission seriously, as it is more difficult than they think, and underestimating it could cost them their lives. She looks annoyed by his words and tells him that he has said enough. Mingshan then declares himself the temporary leader of the group for this mission and demands that they follow his orders regarding mission details. He also states that his reward will be slightly higher than theirs. Lin quickly realizes that these 3 have failed to enter the Royal Beast Academy, which is why they rely on completing missions for money, using only basic beast control techniques they have learned in high school. He chuckles and suggests that the rewards should be distributed based on each person's effort so that those who work harder will earn more. Mingshan immediately agrees, praising him for his logical thinking. With that, the group sets off to complete their mission in Deadhole Canyon. A short while later, they arrive at the mission site, where they are greeted by a massive swarm of insect-like beasts. Shuiyun is shocked by the sheer number of insects, but Mingshan explains that their task is to seal the opening from which the insects emerge and eliminate them completely. He initiates the attack by summoning his companion beast, a rhino beast of 2nd rank, 5th stage. Lai follows suit, summoning his wind-cutting locust, which is also 2nd rank, 5th stage. She then turns to Lin and playfully calls him little brother, instructing him to stay behind her, and summons her companion beast, a fearsome wasp, also second rank, 5th stage. At that moment, the giant insects begin advancing toward them in overwhelming numbers, some crawling across the ground while others swarm through the air. Mingshan takes the lead, commanding his rhino beast to charge into the swarm and crush them all. The rhino follows orders, unleashing tremendous power. However, Lin is not impressed by its performance. The flying insects easily evade the rhino, making it ineffective against them. Lin scoffs, saying that they should watch what his beast can do. He then sends his wind-cutting locust into action, but his locust also fails to deal with the massive swarm. Shuiyun smirks and remarks that his locust won't be able to accomplish anything. She then commands her fearsome wasp to attack. The fearsome wasp launches a poison needle strike, but it only manages to take down a small number of insects. Despite all three beasts engaging in battle against the overwhelming swarm, the number of insects defeated is disappointingly low. Lai then turns to Lin and asks if he plans to do anything or if he is just going to watch while they compete against each other. Mingshan then mocks him, sarcastically asking if he still expects to earn money for his academy tuition. However, Shuiyun steps in, assuring him that once they finish the mission and receive the reward, she will share her earnings with him. She then urges him to stay behind her and not worry. As Lin stands observing the situation, he realizes that everything the three of them have done so far is nothing more than a series of random attacks that pose no real threat to the massive swarm of insects. Suddenly, a loud, terrifying shriek echoes through the air, and the insects immediately begin gathering upon hearing the sound. Fear appears on her face, as none of them know where the sound has come from or what it means, which only adds to their tension. The four of them, along with their beasts, stand still, uncertain of what is happening or what is about to come next. Then, Lai suddenly shouts, pointing at an insect emerging from the hole. Its horns are different from the rest. He exclaims that these insects have summoned reinforcements. At that moment, Lin wonders if the king of the insects, the greater death beetle, has just emerged from the burrow. Immediately after, a large swarm of insects launches an assault on the rhino beast, instead of fleeing from it, as they had before. The same thing happens to the wind-cutting locust and the fearsome wasp. As the insects surround and trap them before attacking them violently, the three beastmasters are filled with terror, and Lai screams, ordering everyone to withdraw their companion beasts immediately, warning that they will all die if they don't escape these cursed insects. Mingshan, completely panicked, calls out desperately to his rhino beast. However, Lin tells them that what they are doing is pointless, explaining that the sound emitted by that insect has paralyzed their beasts, rendering them unable to hear or respond to any commands. Upon hearing this, she is overcome with fear for her fearsome wasp and asks Lin what they should do now. Lai, overcome with rage, grabs him by the collar, furiously accusing him of knowing this beforehand and not warning them. He then insults him, calling him useless and nothing more than a sarcastic observer. But Lin calmly responds, pointing out that Lai shouldn't only be worried about his beast, but about his own life as well. The reason behind his words soon becomes clear, as they see a massive army of insects charging directly toward them. At that moment, Mingshan screams, urging everyone to run immediately, warning that no one will leave this place alive if they don't escape now. This is far from a simple first-rank mission. Mingshan takes off running at full speed, trying to outrun the flying insects that relentlessly pursue him. However, they catch up to him quickly and are about to strike him down. But just in time, Lin activates the Spirit Guard, creating a massive protective shield that surrounds them all and blocks the insect's attack. Lai is shocked beyond belief upon seeing him using spirit techniques. He gasps in disbelief, saying that only students from the Royal Academy are supposed to be capable of using such techniques. It is impossible for a mere high school student to have mastered them. But Lin sharply retorts, telling him to stop his useless chatter and to focus on staying inside the shield and paying close attention to what is about to happen. At that, Lai falls completely silent, utterly stunned by what he is witnessing. Lin then summons his companion beast, the Ice Crystal Spirit, which appears before them in its small, adorable form. Observing the entire situation unfold, they all stand in shock, their eyes wide with disbelief. Lin then begins analyzing the situation, reasoning that if these insects have ranks like companion beasts, they are likely at most first rank, 7th stage. But the real danger doesn't lie in their individual strength, it is in their overwhelming numbers. He also realizes that his three teammates lack any large-scale attack abilities, meaning they are incapable of dealing with such a massive swarm. Fortunately, however, his ice crystal spirit possesses powerful wide-range attack capabilities. At that moment, Lin gives his ice crystal spirit a command to spread ice across the widest possible area in front of them. The beast immediately obeys. In an instant, all the insects freeze in place, completely immobilized by the overwhelming frost energy unleashed by the ice crystal spirit. Suddenly, amidst the tension, Lin calmly tells them to retrieve their pet beasts before it is too late, if they are willing to give up all the rewards. Mingshan is terrified and immediately agrees to hand over all the rewards to Lin Zhe. He asks Lin Zhe to return their pet beasts so they can leave safely. Despite the tense situation, Lei still finds the courage to mock Lin Zhe for threatening them. However, he has no idea that Lin Zhe is actually the legendary candidate who passed the superior difficulty test. Hearing this, Shiyun, who had already suspected something, begs Lin Zhe to save their pet beasts. Lei, however, refuses to believe it and continues scolding Lin Zhe, demanding that he unfreeze their pets so they can leave. Seeing this, Mingshan quickly punches Lei, pointing out that the power Lin Zhe has already displayed proves everything. Ignoring their argument, Lin Zhe calmly tells them to take their pets back quickly before the insect swarm wakes up. Shuiyun then asks about Lin Zhe's plan, explaining that these bugs cannot truly be eliminated and can only be temporarily controlled. In response, Lin Zhe smiles and declares that he will go inside to defeat their king. Lei is shocked by Lin Zhe's decision, but Lin Zhe ignores him and jumps into the swarm with his pet beast, instructing the others to leave immediately. Inside, it is pitch black, yet Lin Zhe can see clearly. It appears that improving his physical fitness has also enhanced his eyesight. Soon, dozens of monsters rush toward him, but they are blocked by Spirit Impact and the Spirit Guardian Barrier, allowing Lin Zhe to deal with them with ease. However, their overwhelming numbers soon begin to crack the protective shield. No matter how much spirit power he has, Lin Zhe knows he cannot hold out like this for long. Fortunately, Lin Zhe still has 150 achievement points, which is enough for the Ice Crystal Spirit to learn 2 new skills, Ice Shield and Frost Nova. With Ice Shield, the Ice Crystal Spirit can move freely without staying within the Spirit Guardian Barrier. Frost Nova, on the other hand, is perfect for dealing large area damage. However, it requires gathering surrounding ice elements first, which can work well alongside the Arctic domain. After forming his strategy, Lin Zhe orders the Ice Crystal Spirit to activate Arctic domain, freezing the ground. Then he commands it to deploy Spirit Guardian again, gather ice elements, and follow up with Frost Nova, wiping out even the distant monsters. Thanks to this strategy, Lin Zhe manages to defeat a total of 50 death toll beetles. The massive output of the attack shatters the protective shield, but the results are remarkable. The Ice Crystal Spirit upgrades from Rank 3, Stage 1 to Rank 3, Stage 2. Pet beasts gain experience through battle and can gradually level up. Although the progress is usually slow, the large number of bugs here makes this an excellent place for training. With the growth rate now at 89%, Lin Zhe believes the Ice Crystal Spirit might even break through to the next stage today. Suddenly, the king of the death toll beetles lets out a powerful roar, revealing its location and confirming Lin Zhe's target. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to Shuiyun and the others, who have finally reached a safe location. Shuiyun immediately suggests reporting the danger of this mission, fearing that Lin Zhe could be in serious trouble. However, Lei opposes the idea, arguing that Lin Zhe entered the area by his own choice. Just as their debate continues, another figure arrives, Bronze Beastmaster Luo Da. With a confident attitude, he asks them for the exact location of the Death Toll Beetle mission point. Mingshan confirms the location of the mission point, but warns Luo Da not to go there. However, the moment he looks at Da's chest, he is stunned to see the Bronze Beastmaster badge. The badges issued by the Beast Tamer Association are divided into 3 ranks. The first is Bronze Beastmaster, held by the top 30% of beast tamers in the world. The second is Silver Beastmaster, possessed by the top 12%. The highest is Gold Beastmaster, a prestigious rank achieved by only the top 3% of beast tamers worldwide. Acting confidently, Da introduces himself and explains that the association has noticed the sudden increase in the mission's difficulty. Because of that, he was sent to resolve the situation. Hearing this, the usually calm and capable Shuiyun immediately feels relieved, believing that victory is guaranteed now that Da has arrived. She asks if she can accompany him. Da lifts her chin slightly and agrees to take her along, but he refuses to allow the other 2 to follow. Mingshan and Lei quickly nod in agreement, clearly showing they have no intention of returning to that dangerous place. The scene then shifts back to Lindsay, who has just unlocked a new achievement titled Beast Slayer. This reward grants him 300 achievement points along with an explosive seed card, but this time the rewards are significantly greater. At the same time, the Ice Crystal Spirit advances to rank 3, Stage 3, with its growth rate reaching 94%. They are now only one step away from evolving into the next form, the Snow Lady. Soon after, the boss finally appears, and it is far larger than the other monsters. According to the mission details, the Death Toll Beetle Crisis began only a week ago, meaning the boss must have evolved recently. Even so, it has already reached rank 4, Stage 1. Seeing this overwhelming rank, Lindsay briefly considers retreating. However, if he leaves now, he will receive no reward for the mission. Determined not to waste this opportunity, he decides to face the boss with everything he has. At that very moment, the ceiling suddenly shatters as a golem beast crashes through, and Luo De lands on the ground with Xuyun. Ignoring the fact that Xuyun looks relieved to see Lindsay unharmed, Lindsay immediately asks why she returned. De clicks his tongue in annoyance at the presence of another person and casually walks toward the boss, telling Lindsay to stand back. The monster before them is Death Toll Strike, the legendary king of the Death Toll Beetles. This rare rank 4 beast appears only once among tens of thousands of beetles and possesses the terrifying ability to command the entire insect swarm. As De moves toward the boss, Lindsay suddenly grabs his robe and declares that he arrived first, so the boss belongs to him. Acting completely unfazed, De asks Lindsay if he even knows who he is. Just then, the boss charges forward, but Da's golem intercepts the attack. De then formally introduces himself. His golem is rank 3, Stage 9, making it an extremely powerful beast. Although the golem tries to restrain the boss, the monster manages to free one of its arms and swings toward Da. At that critical moment, Lindsay quickly uses Arctic Chains to block the attack and protect him, introducing himself as Lindsay. To his surprise, Da already knows about him, the candidate who passed the superior difficulty test. Despite this recognition, the two continue arguing about who should fight the boss, forcing Xuyun to step in and stop them as the monster prepares to charge again. Seeing this, Da decides to demonstrate the gap between their abilities. He activates a spirit technique, strengthening the golem's fist. Lindsay is shocked upon witnessing such a high-level technique. The empowered golem launches a powerful strike that knocks the boss to the ground. Afterward, Da smugly taunts Lindsay, boasting that advanced spirit techniques are not something everyone can use. However, the battle is far from over. The boss quickly recovers and retaliates, launching a fierce counterattack against the golem. The Death Toll Striker suddenly enters a berserk state, causing its combat power to surge to the level of rank 4, Stage 3. At this point, even the golem struggles to block its attacks. With the situation escalating rapidly, Lindsay has no choice but to join the fight alongside the Ice Crystal Spirit and confront the boss directly. Their attack successfully draws the monster's attention toward Lindsay. Taking advantage of the moment, the Ice Crystal Spirit uses Arctic Chains to restrain the boss and slow it down. However, the Death Toll Striker quickly breaks free from the chains. Just then, Da's golem grabs the monster from behind, attempting to hold it in place. In the next instant, the boss counterattacks with immense force, sending the golem crashing through the air before it slams into the wall. Seeing the overwhelming strength of the monster, Xuyun becomes frightened and advises everyone to retreat, believing the boss is simply too powerful. Even Da agrees with her and suggests that they withdraw for now and come up with a better plan later. However, Lindsay refuses to fall back. He declares that he will not retreat until the boss is defeated. Da is stunned by Lindsay's determination. After all, they had just witnessed the strengthened golem struggle against the monster. Earlier, Da had claimed that the difference between them was his mastery of advanced enhancement techniques. In response, Lindsay activates the seed card, using it to enhance both himself and the Ice Crystal Spirit. Seeing Lindsay perform a strengthening technique shocks Da completely. Empowered by the card, the Ice Crystal Spirit's eyes glow red as it charges toward the boss with renewed strength. Da can only watch in disbelief as Lindsay's abilities continue to exceed his expectations. With the help of the seed card, the Ice Crystal Spirit temporarily reaches rank 4, Stage 3 for 60 seconds. Combined with Lindsay's spirit techniques, this short window of power becomes more than enough to challenge the boss. The Death Toll Striker charges again, But this time Lindsay orders the ice crystal spirit to use Arctic chains once more to restrain it. Now that the ice crystal spirit's level has increased, the chains are far stronger than before. Still, Lindsay knows the restraint will not last long. To finish the battle quickly, Lindsay activates Spirit Impact and launches a series of powerful strikes against the boss. Only 4 seconds remain before the enhancement effect ends, so he continues pressing the attack. De quickly warns him to stop, fearing that he might collapse from exhausting his spirit power. However, Lindsay checks his energy and calmly confirms that he still has half of his spirit power remaining. This revelation shocks De even further, as such a large reserve of spirit power is extremely rare. Shuiyun praises Lindsay, calling him a true genius, and believes they may actually defeat the Death Toll Striker. At that moment, the Ice Crystal Spirit unleashes Frost Nova, striking the boss with a devastating wave of icy power that leaves the monster severely weakened. Witnessing such a unique pet beast, an overwhelming force leaves De in complete amazement. The sight reminds him of the ancient legends, when mythical beasts once fought alongside humans. According to those legends, humanity gathered the 5 supreme elemental beasts to end an era of chaos, after which those legendary creatures vanished from the world. With only 30 seconds left on the enhancement effect, Lindsay decides to finish the battle once and for all. He commands the Ice Crystal Spirit to use the condensed skill and launch a final attack against the Death Toll Striker. Realizing it is about to be defeated, the boss monster attempts to escape. However, Lindsay gives it no chance and immediately launches another attack. After taking the final blow, the Death Toll Striker is finally defeated. Shuiyun is overjoyed by the victory, while De appears slightly jealous, feeling that Lindsay has taken the spotlight. Exhausted from the intense battle, the Ice Crystal Spirit lets out a deep sigh and collapses. Lindsay praises it for its excellent performance. At that moment, a notification appears informing him that the Ice Crystal Spirit has advanced to rank 3, stage 5, and its growth rate has reached completion. However, to evolve further, it will require 10 advanced evolution materials. Another notification soon appears, rewarding Lindsay for the achievement First Boss Kill. He receives 500 achievement points, 1 revival potion, and 10 advanced evolution materials. Seeing these rewards, Lindsay feels pleased, realizing that the system is both thoughtful and generous. Soon after, De places a hand on Lindsay's shoulder and asks him to give him the credit for defeating the Death Toll Striker. Shuiyun becomes irritated by the request, but Lindsay remains calm. When De offers 10,000 yuan in exchange, Lindsay quickly understands the situation. If the Beast Tamer Association discovers that De did not actually defeat the boss, it could negatively affect his promotion and evaluation. At the same time, the deal is also beneficial for Lindsay, since he plans to buy a new pet beast and currently needs money. Still, he does not agree immediately, hoping De might improve the offer. De explains that the money already represents half a year of his savings. In addition, Lindsay will still receive the full reward for completing the mission, which means he can earn another 5,000 yuan. On top of that, De promises to owe Lindsay a personal favor. Considering that favors can be extremely valuable, Lindsay finally agrees to the deal and De transfers the money. At that moment, Lindsay senses the presence of another pet beast on the rooftop. When he looks up, he realizes that it belongs to Zenquin. Shuiyun immediately becomes excited after noticing that Zenquin wears the silver Beastmaster badge. De is even more surprised when Lindsay greets Zenquin as if they already know each other. Zenquin returns the greeting and begins discussing the mission with De confidently reports that the mission has been successfully completed and that no one was harmed. After hearing the report, Zenquin glances at Lindsay and quietly analyzes the situation. The Death Toll Striker had clearly reached rank 4, while Lindsay's pet beast had originally been at a much lower level. Although Lindsay is a rare genius, Zenquin concludes that the victory must have been achieved through the combined efforts of both of them, with De acting as the main force. Zenquin then apologizes to Lindsay for the Beast Tamer Association's inaccurate mission assessment, which had mistakenly labeled the task as ordinary difficulty. Lindsay continues to support the earlier agreement and calmly confirms that everything is fine, even adding that De protected them well during the mission. To make up for the misjudgment, Zenquin offers 10,000 yuan as compensation. He also explains that the association needs to take the monster's body for further research. Hearing this, De is stunned, realizing that Lindsay is receiving a considerable amount of money. Lindsay immediately accepts the compensation. He understands that the payment also serves as a way to quietly settle the matter. Refusing it might only create unnecessary complications later. From Zinquin's perspective, however, the money is more like an investment. He knows that Lindsay has not yet purchased a second pet beast, which means he likely needs funds urgently. Zinquin transfers the money to Lindsay's account and assures him that he will provide assistance whenever needed in the future. Afterward, Zinquin effortlessly lifts the boss monster's body with his bare strength and leaves the area. In a short amount of time, Lindsay has earned 20,000 yuan along with a valuable favor. Once they finally climb out of the pit, De prepares to leave as well, promising that he will never forget the favor Lindsay granted him. After De departs, Shuiyun declares that she will train harder to become stronger and hopes that one day they can take on missions together again. Lindsay agrees with a smile before saying goodbye. After receiving all the money, Lindsay heads straight to the market to purchase a B-grade pet beast. When he arrives at the shop, the receptionist greets him politely and leads him underground, where all the pet beasts are kept. As Lindsay looks around, he quickly realizes that the shop mainly sells B-grade and lower-ranked beasts. He carefully examines several options, but none of them appear to have a hidden evolution route. After searching for a while, he finally notices a flame-type pet beast that does possess a hidden evolutionary path. However, even though it has a hidden route, it is nowhere near the level of king-grade evolutions, such as the Snow Queen, which is the hidden evolution of Snowball. Seeing Lindsay's interest, the receptionist explains that this rare flame-type beast costs 16,000 yuan. Lindsay is surprised by the high price, but she quickly adds that the cost also includes the necessary evolution materials. Even so, Lindsay concludes that the deal is not worth the price and decides to continue searching for other options. It is worth noting that the Ice Crystal Spirit was originally rated as an F-grade pet, and experts once believed it had no evolution path at all. However, these ratings are only based on the knowledge and experience of specialists from the Beast Tamer Association, meaning they are not always completely accurate. While continuing to browse, Lindsay suddenly discovers a pet beast with a king-grade hidden evolutionary route. The creature is a rock-type beast called the Stone Monster, and it looks very familiar to him. This beast actually has an impressive hidden evolution path known as the Rock God, which traces back to an ancient bloodline and awakens a trace of extraordinary power. Additionally, the Stone Monster can evolve into Rock Ghost by using 20 intermediate Earth element essences. Lindsay suddenly recalls that this small creature resembles Da's pet beast, the giant rock monster. That powerful beast is simply the most common evolutionary route of this species. Even Da likely has no idea that these small creatures possess the hidden potential to evolve into something as powerful as a rock god. From a strategic perspective, Lindsay also considers team balance. The Ice Crystal Spirit excels in burst damage and control, making it a mage-type fighter. This means a Stone Monster, which functions more like a warrior-type combatant, would perfectly complement his current lineup. Once again noticing Lindsay's interest, the receptionist encourages him not to hesitate. After thinking it through, Lindsay immediately decides to buy the Stone Monster. He also requests 20 intermediate Earth element essences. Hearing this, the receptionist becomes hesitant and advises him against purchasing those materials. She explains that the beast normally cannot evolve with them, and the Earth element essence is quite expensive, usually only worth using on D-grade pet beasts. Not wanting to reveal the secret of the hidden evolution route, Lindsay simply tells her that the materials are meant as a gift for someone else. The purchase is completed smoothly, although Lindsay nearly tears up after realizing just how expensive the materials actually are. Once everything is finalized, the receptionist gives him a seal pearl, allowing him to form a contract with a second pet beast. After successfully establishing the contract, Lindsay receives 300 achievement points as a reward. When he returns home, Lindsay places the evolution materials on the ground and summons his new pet beast. Before anything else, he must raise its growth rate to 100%, so he spends 2 sets of 20 achievement points to complete the process. Although the Stone Monster looks a bit clumsy and unimpressive, Lindsay knows that it actually possesses the potential of a god-level hidden evolution. He then orders the beast to consume the evolution materials so it can begin evolving. The creature quickly eats the Earth element essence, but when it comes to the other material, it refuses to touch it. Lindsay becomes annoyed at the pet beast's picky behavior and summons the Ice Crystal Spirit to enforce some discipline. The Stone Monster immediately charges toward the Ice Crystal Spirit, but the difference in strength is obvious. The Ice Crystal Spirit easily subdues it, leaving the stone monster in tears. Even so, the stubborn little beast still struggles, showing just how strong-willed it truly is. After being disciplined by the ice crystal spirit, the stone-type pet beast finally submits and eats the other material, crying as it is forced to comply. With this last step completed, the evolution requirements are fulfilled, and the pet successfully evolves into Rock Ghost, now reaching rank 2, stage 9. Immediately after evolving, Rock Ghost lunges at the ice crystal spirit. She skillfully dodges and erects an ice shield to defend herself. Lindsay grows furious at Rock Ghost's behavior. To teach the new pet a lesson and establish who is truly in charge, he decides to evolve the ice crystal spirit as well. Using 10 ice crystal evolution materials, he upgrades her into Snow Maiden, achieving rank 4, stage 1. Many of her abilities are also enhanced to the next level. With her newfound power, Snow Maiden freezes Rock Ghost's feet in place. Lindsay then commands her to unleash Ice Shower on the stubborn Rock Ghost, forcing it to finally relent. Lindsay wants the beast to understand that by signing a contract, it now has a master, him, and must obey completely. However, he makes it clear that if Rock Ghost cannot overcome its difficult nature, he will not hesitate to punish it. When Lindsay asks if Rock Ghost has any objections, the beast unexpectedly bows, showing respect to its new master. Just then, there is a knock at the door. The neighbor has come, complaining that his wall was damaged. Lindsay calmly offers to compensate him, but the man arrogantly demands additional payment for mental distress, insisting on a total of at least 30,000 yuan. Shocked, Lindsay watches as the neighbor even grabs his collar, demanding payment within 3 days. Rock Ghost steps forward, ready to strike the man, but Lindsay commands it to stop. Immediately obedient, the Rock Ghost freezes in place. The man, terrified by the sheer presence of the newly evolved beast, hesitates. Lindsay reminds him that he was merely training his pet, then asks again if he wants the compensation. Realizing the situation, the man reluctantly backs down, deciding to forget about the matter. Lindsay lets it go, proving that a person of principle does not concern himself with trivial disputes. The next morning, Lindsay receives a phone call from his sister, Ning. She reminds him that today is the entrance examination for Jiangning Imperial Beast Academy, something Lindsay had completely forgotten about. Realizing this, he quickly rushes over, arriving much later than expected. When Lindsay finally arrives, he meets Ning, but several students begin whispering that he showed up late simply because he is considered a genius. His classroom teacher immediately scolds him for oversleeping again and lightly smacks him on the head. Lindsay explains that he has been extremely tired recently. Hearing this, the teacher quietly asks if he has been training his spirit techniques too much. Meanwhile, Ning watches the conversation closely from the side. Afterward, the teacher gathers all the students from Pinghai No. 1 Middle School and gives them a short speech before the enrollment examination at Jiangning Imperial Beast Academy. She explains that the exam will be more challenging than in previous years and encourages everyone to give their best effort. Her words motivate the students, who become more determined to perform well. She concludes by expressing her hope that they, and especially Lindsay, can become the pride of Pinghai No. 1 Middle School. Soon, everyone boards a bus heading toward Jiangning Imperial Beast Academy. Lindsay sits by the window, while Ning takes the seat beside him. She asks why he has not been replying to her messages recently. Lindsay apologizes and explains that he has been extremely busy and rarely checked his phone. Ning continues chatting and excitedly tells him that her pet beast, the magic bird, has successfully evolved. Lindsay congratulates her and confidently says that with such progress, she should have no trouble with the upcoming exam. Before long, they finally arrive near Jiangning City. Eventually, the bus arrives at Jiangning Imperial Beast Academy, and the students are immediately amazed by its grand appearance. The academy truly lives up to its prestigious reputation. Lindsay and his classmates soon notice that 17 students from Qingping High School have also arrived to report, along with 21 students from Tsangsha No. 3 Middle School. Cyan encourages Ning not to feel pressured as the class leader and to simply do her best during the exam. Ning then glances at Lindsay, who gives her a reassuring thumbs up. Soon after, an announcement confirms that 20 students from Pinghai No. 1 Middle School have arrived as well. Some students from other schools react with clear dissatisfaction. Since Pinghai City is more remote compared to Tsangsha and Qingping, they assume the Pinghai students are less capable. Just then, a professor riding a powerful pet beast descends from the sky and lands in front of the crowd. He greets the students and introduces himself as Qin He, the instructor responsible for registration this year. First, he congratulates everyone for successfully completing the Beastmaster trial. However, he quickly reminds them that gaining admission to the academy will be far more difficult. According to previous year's records, the elimination rate for this examination is 80%. This means that only about 10 students from their entire group will ultimately be admitted to Jiangning Imperial Beast Academy. Hearing this, many students become nervous, realizing how intense the competition will be. However, a few arrogant students still mock the situation, claiming that it simply means no one from Pinghai No. 1 Middle School will pass. Their remarks make Cyan visibly angry, as she already disliked their attitude. Not everyone is acting foolishly, though. Among the crowd, two students, Yong and Cindy, remain calm and observant. Yong asks Cindy who she believes might pass the exam besides the two of them. After scanning the crowd, Cindy mentions Li Pingyun, noting that he appears particularly strong. She then continues looking at the students from Pinghai No. 1 Middle School and notices Lin Zhe among them. However, something about him feels unusual to her, leaving her curious about his true strength. Young notices that Cindy seems distracted and asks what she is thinking about. Cindy calmly replies that nothing is wrong, but she feels that Lin Zhe's strength is difficult to measure. Even so, Young dismisses the idea. In his opinion, the overall level of Pinghai No. 1 Middle School is lower than their own, so there is nothing to worry about. Soon after, Professor Qin instructs all the students to check into the hotel inside the academy for the night so they can rest and prepare for the upcoming entrance exams. He also mentions that the academy's canteen will provide free meals to all candidates during the examination period. Hearing about the food, Cyan becomes excited because she is already very hungry. Lin Zhe and Ning decide to head to the canteen as well. When they arrive, they begin eating together. Some nearby students quietly notice Ning's striking appearance and start whispering among themselves. However, Ning ignores the attention and focuses entirely on Lin Zhe, repeatedly telling him to eat more. Soon, Cyan and Xiaoyun join them and jokingly comment that Ning and Lin Zhe look like a couple. Their teasing makes Ning blush with embarrassment. At that moment, a student from Qingping High School approaches their table and politely asks if he can sit with them. After receiving permission, he introduces himself as Zhou Xiong. He explains that he recently heard rumors about a high school student from Pinghai City who passed the superior difficulty trial, and he is curious whether that student has also come to take the exam. Xiaoyun immediately asks why he wants to know. Cyan suspects that Zhou is trying to gather information before the exam in order to target Pinghai students. Zhou quickly denies this, saying he is just an ordinary student hoping to make new friends. He claims that since the competition is intense, gathering information is simply the skill he relies on the most. Meanwhile, Ning continues eating quietly and refuses to reveal anything. Seeing their cautious attitude, Zhou reassures them that he is not trying to cause trouble. He adds that he has already studied most of the capable candidates participating in the exam. Zhou then begins sharing some information. First, he mentions Li Pingyun, the leader of Qingping High School and a well-known local genius. 2 months ago, Li Pingyun successfully passed the Advanced Apprenticeship Assessment. His pet beast is the Poison Ivy Monster, a plant-type creature that has already reached rank 3. Hearing this surprises both Xiaoyun and Cyan. Zhou continues, explaining that Li Pingyun also comes from a prominent local family that has provided him with high-level evolution materials. Realizing that he is both talented and well-supported, Xiaoyun and Cyan begin to feel discouraged. Even Ning's evolved magic bird is currently only rank 2, stage 7, which makes the gap seem even larger. Next, Zhou mentions another notable student, Cindy from Zhangxia City, the girl with twin ponytails. She has a reputation for being quite troublesome, yet despite forming a contract with her pet beast only a month ago, she still managed to pass the Advanced Apprenticeship Assessment. Her pet beast is a steel-patterned young dragon, currently rank 2, stage 8. This information makes Xiaoyun and Cyan even more nervous, but Lin Zhe appears completely uninterested. Instead, he casually glances towards Cindy. When she notices him looking, she simply smiles and greets him with a playful expression. Zhou then mentions another strong candidate, Tan Yong from Zhangxia City, who possesses a dual-element pet beast. Hearing this reminds Ning and Xiaoyun of something their teacher once told them. Pet beasts with dual attributes are extremely rare and usually live in very dangerous regions, making them difficult to tame. Even the rock ghost evolution is technically a combination of rock and ghost attributes. Hearing this makes Lin Zhe realize that dual attribute beasts have significant potential and are definitely worth developing. After sharing everything he knows, Zhou finally returns to his original question and asks again about the student who passed the superior difficulty trial. Lindsay calmly answers that the student did not come today, intentionally keeping the truth hidden.